We have heard of wars and rumors of wars. Calamities are increasing, the so-called climate, environmental issue. We have seen wickedness increasing at a pace we have never witnessed before. Do you think that it is time for us, as Amos chapter 4 verse 12 tells us, to prepare to meet our God?
Prepare for the Last Days, a devotional from the writings of Ellen G. White. Weaving in of error. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Christ Jesus. 2 Timothy 3 verses 14 through 15. Sometimes that which men teach as special light is in reality specious error, which, as tares sown among the wheat, will spring up and produce a baleful harvest. And errors of this sort will be entertained by some unto the close of this earth's history. Truth is sustained by a plain, thus saith the Lord. But there has been a weaving in of error and the use of scriptures out of their natural connection in order to substantiate fallacies which would deceive, if possible, the very elect. Confession must come sooner or later, if not voluntarily now, then finally before the universe of heaven and the multitude that shall compose Satan's vast army encircling the city of God, in the vain supposition that numbers will prevail. Those who persist in refusing to confess now will then be forced to confess their errors, their unfaithful, underhanded dealing, and all their transgression of the law of God. Oh, how much better to confess errors now than to leave them until the opening of the records in the books of heaven, when every act shall be revealed, and even the motives that lead to the action. God reads the secrets of every heart, and the day draws near when all who have united in calling the actions of the unrighteous man just and righteous will see that they have acted a part in deceiving the man, and that they have been partakers of his unrighteous deeds. They will then understand that, because they have strengthened his evil propensities by passing them by without reproof, they are united with him in the sin. And as surely as the Lord has spoken, they will share the punishment when it will be administered in the presence of an assembled universe.
There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. Together his loved ones home. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. Together his loved ones home. Together his loved ones home. Together his loved ones home. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. Together his loved ones home. There'll be no more sorrow when Jesus comes. There'll be no more sorrow when Jesus comes, but a glorious morrow when Jesus comes. Together his loved ones home. Together his loved ones home. Together together His loved ones home. There'll be songs of greeting when Jesus comes. There'll be songs of greeting when Jesus comes, and a joyful meeting when Jesus comes. Together His loved ones home. Together His loved ones home. Together His loved ones home. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. Together His loved ones home. Together His loved ones home. Together His loved ones home. There'll be no dark valley when Jesus comes. Together His loved ones home. Together His loved